So often we place our potential in the hands of another person, another being. And I just want to make this very short and sweet video to say, listen, your greatness is within you, right? Your greatness lies within you. No one else is responsible for your greatness. I feel like so many people, especially in this day and age that we're living in now, with social media, all these various social media platforms. We got Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, right? And with this, it's like this built-in psychological entrapment that gets people and puts people in a position to seek validation from other people through likes, through hearts, through reactions. And I think we become disillusioned through this whole process, right? And to believing that our greatness, the epitome of who we are as divine human beings, lies within the hands of another individual. The approval of another individual. All right, I gotta turn on my AC for this. But I will be the first person, and I've said this before, to reiterate, to let y'all know, like, cut it out, okay? Cut it out. We gotta go back to the beginning. Go back to the original aspect of who we are. I am so thankful that, first of all, I was born who I am. So this has always been in me. It can never leave me. This is just who I am, and knowing who I am, knowing my greatness. I don't seek approval or validation from anybody. And this is, I think, sometimes the biggest issue, because we live in a society that's built upon people having to seek validation. Whether it's through getting a job, right? And having to, I feel like it's just, I feel like there's this superficial reality that people live in. And then there's real reality, right? And it's almost like if people could just wake up to the truth. Me, I was born in it. Like, truth was born into me, right? So when I come across like people and situations and entities, right, that have this framework that is opposed to what the truth is, right? For me, I don't know. For me, I just have this like built-in sense of security and confirmation in knowing who I am. And other people, I think, don't like it clearly, because it's just like, oh, you think you're this, you think you're that, right? Who are you? Who do you think you are? Like, I've gotten that so many. Who do you think you are? You're no different. I'm like, to hell I am. To hell I am much different in my ears, yo. I'm not popped yet. It's almost like I've been on an airplane, but I haven't. I was riding on a train earlier, coming from the Bronx back to Manhattan. It's just like, my ears have not popped. I've been trying to get them to pop. I've been chewing freaking gum and everything, and they just still have not popped. But yeah, it's just like I've had this encounter with people, especially people who are in perceived positions of power. It's just like they don't get it. They do not get it. And I get it because oftentimes people within these positions of power who believe that they have, like they hold the keys to your greatness, right? As if like it's only through them that your greatness is confirmed. They feel a certain kind of way. When you know who you are and you stand tall and firm in who you are and the power that you have inherent within you, they take issue with that. This is not anything new to me. This is something that has always reverberated through every fiber of my being. Which is the reason why I've encountered a lot of setbacks, so to speak, of obstacles, problems. And I reflect on the words of my mother. And like everyone says, like your mom, your parents, your mother and your father, they know who you are, right? And my mom saw this in me when I was a little girl. And she used to say, Danielle, you are a smart, beautiful young girl. But it's your mouth. Like she knew I was just, they call it rebellious. But I just always had a mind of my own. You know, it's like there's the status quo, there's society and what they try to impose upon you, right? And then there's me, a free thinker, free spirited person. I always had my own mind. And it's like, yo, we live in a supposedly free world, but that's the gimmick that they try to tout and sell to people. It's like, if we live in this free society, why is it that free spirited individuals, free minded people get attacked? Why is it that we face repercussions when we stand up for what is right and speak for ourselves? Blessings to you, Kenyatta. And she told me, she was like, yeah, your mouth is going to get you in trouble. And obviously our speech, what we say, is a reflection of our thoughts. So what she was really saying was, your mind, the way you think, is going to get you in trouble. Rest in heaven, Mom. I wouldn't even say rest in heaven because she lives through me, right? My mom is still alive and she lives through me, but it's just like, yeah, this is something that is like ongoing, is never ending. And I made a post recently to say that it's only a matter of time, yo. This whole 9-to-5 bullshit. Like, I knew going in that this is temporary, knowing that I am not the kind of person to work. I've never been the kind of person to work a 9-to-5. Ever. It's never been my stilo. Ever. Never been my thing. I took this position en route to get licensed as a clinical psychologist. Mission accomplished. So it's like, what's next, right? I feel like people limit themselves. Not to shit on every 9-to-5 job, but it's just the whole bureaucracy of things, right? And, knowing that you are part of a system that is designed to only use and manipulate you for a specific purpose that is oftentimes not really in alignment with what you are set out to do, right? In alignment with your mission. So it's just like, nah, buddy. But I just wanted to pour this into you guys who are watching this video as a reminder that you are great just by yourself. We have been so conditioned, to believe, and I guess I'm a little tired because it's been a very long day for me and I just came back from Brooklyn. But, we have been conditioned to believe that we are inadequate, right? In order to become something, then we have to do X, Y, and Z. And we need this person's approval, that person's approval. And if only we could just step up and out of that paradigm to know who we are as people, as melanated people especially, divine human beings. Right? I know people from the outside looking in who don't resonate with this message. They may say, you're pompous. Right? Oh, you think you're this. Like I've been told that so many times. And listen, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a flying fuck. Right? It's like when you know what you know who you are, that's just what stands. All the other shit can fucking fly. Fuck it and fuck them. People have to get to the point of just saying, fuck it, that is a wondrous place to be in. To be able to say, fuck all of this shit. I feel like that part of us, that fuck it part of us, the part that we really should align ourselves with, the part of us that is closest to the truth, it like that voice gets smaller and smaller. Like we tend to ignore it. We tend to diminish it. We tend to sacrifice, right, our freedoms in exchange for what? In exchange for what? A title? A limited amount of money? I'm like, me being the entrepreneurial, free-spirited, business-minded woman that I am, I always knew my potential. And I've always said that, yes, a 9-to-5 could be a means to an end, but it's not the end. Right? It is not the epitome of success. It is not the end goal necessarily. Right? I think people get very comfortable and become very complacent in working 9-to-5 jobs. I feel like it's like every part of my being, like the blood that circulates through my veins, my bones, my meat, my brain, my skin. Like I want to say every fiber, every part of my being is opposed to the idea of working a 9-to-5. And one may ask, well, why? Why? If you can take yourself out of the position or the title that you have and look at the grand scheme of things, you have to be a thinker. to know, like, no, that's not it. You have people that get in certain positions and they think they can boss you around. I don't even like the title, the term boss. And someone had the audacity to ask me, oh, is it okay if I say you're boss? No, it's not okay. Words carry meaning. They carry power. No one is the boss of me. Listen, if my own mother was not even the boss of me, my own father was not even my boss of me. And great, yes, of course, I held much respect for both of them, which I still do. But I am my own person. I am the boss of me. I am my own God. I worship no one or no entity outside of me. I can have reverence for another entity outside of me or another person, but I worship no one. And when you are such a great-minded individual, such as myself, I've always been, it's like it does something to your spirit to reduce yourself to such a low-lying position, to even have to call another person your boss or answer to, like, I can't. It doesn't, like, it rubs, y'all don't understand. Like, you really just have to be in that position. It does, like, it's so cringe worthy. It's just so, I can't. You have no idea. I just can't. And listen, I've tried, and I've been in that position, obviously, right? Like I said, like, I took a position en route to get licensed, right? Having supervisors. But it's just like knowing that, yes, of course, they have their knowledge and experience to contribute, to pour into me. But I'm like, I'm so much more wiser than them. I'm smarter than them. Really, I'm more experienced than them. I own businesses. I have a lucrative business. I pull in money, right? More money than they probably can ever fathom. And this is no stretch of the imagination. It's not even an exaggeration. This is like facts. I know my influence, right? I know my power. I'm just like, I can't do this. I can't pretend. I'm not an actor, though I've been in several TV shows and films, right? I've experienced the whole Hollywood scene, both in Atlanta and in actual Hollywood, LA. But it's just like, nah, man. That game is over. And really at this point, like, it's definitely time to really step back. And I've said this in weeks past, that it's time for me to step back into myself, into who I am and what I deserve. I went to this restaurant, and I always have a story to tell, but I went to this restaurant and I wanted to try out something different. I'm always looking to explore and try out new restaurants, right? And so I stumbled across this Cuban restaurant out in Manhattan. I live in Manhattan, New York. And, I thought it was a great idea. Try something different. Now, granted, when I get there, the hostess, it was actually two. It was a Latino male, and it was a deep melanated African young woman. And I pulled up and I called, of course, to see, do I need to make a reservation? And I was told, oh, no reservation needed. Come on in. So I'm like, great. And I show up to the restaurant, and I show up, and I'm like, it's just a party of one, just me wanting to be seated, right? Now, it's funny how the two hostess, they responded. Of course, the black melanated woman, she's like, I'll see, what I can do. And I tell them, this is anywhere I go. I'm paying for service. I'm paying for food. Of course, I want to be seated and comfortable. So I want your most comfortable seat in the house. Otherwise, I don't have to be here. I'm not going to stay, right? Because always, of course, they say, like, when you're by yourself, oh, we have a seat at the bar. I don't want to sit at the bar. Now, I have sat at some bars, but that's not my preference. I do not want to sit at anyone's bar. Okay? And so the guy's like, hold on, I don't know, like, we may not. Like, he was kind of iffy about it, but she was like really trying to get me in, so she got me a seat. And I did leave a review. I left a review on my page because I have a whole album with New York City restaurants. And I left a review on Google and on their Facebook page. So go back and check that out. But I did not give them a favorable review. So I'm like, y'all got me fucked up. I ordered steak. And I don't understand how restaurants cannot get it right when it comes to cooking steak. That's cooked. That's done. I just want a done steak, right? So when you tell them, okay, well done, they think that you mean dried the fuck out. No, who the fuck wants to eat some dried out meat? That's not what done means. I just want a cooked steak without blood dripping from my steak. How is steak any different than ordering chicken or any other meat? You don't want the blood coming from your chicken, do you? No. So why would I want blood coming from my steak? I just don't understand. There's only one place that I've been to, and that was actually in the Bronx, that's able to get it right when it comes to cooking steak. But I had this issue with restaurants. I just can't cook the steak right. And it was back and forth, right? They had the audacity after I let the waitress know that this steak is not cooked to my specifications. So she takes they send the steak back to the kitchen, and they cook it, they recook the steak and send out back the same fucking steak. Like, what is this? This is not how it's supposed to be. Like, what is this? What the fuck is this? You're supposed to start the order all over again. But anyway, needless to say, yeah. I'm just saying this to say, like, listen, you do not have to, oftentimes, like, I feel like the way we interact with the world, the way we express ourselves, the things that we settle for, clearly is a reflection of how we perceive ourselves and our own self-worth. Elevate yourself and your perception of yourself to a point where you do not have to settle. There's no reason. And I think I know where it comes from. A lot of this conditioning comes from religion, especially with Christianity. This indoctrination that, you have to submit and reduce yourself to little to nothing and serve your master. The fuck? You have to belittle yourself. Damn that. That has never been in me. Granted, I grew up in a two-parent household, was a Christian-based household, but I've always been the inquisitive child ever since I can remember. Asking questions. I question everything. You cannot fucking slip bullshit past me. That's why, like, I'm so thankful. I'm so grateful, and just knowing who I am. And I always, like, when I say, like, yay high, I've always known who the fuck. You can't slip bullshit past me. You can't run game on me. It's not going to fly. I don't care who you are. What kind of shit you try to come. It just doesn't work. And yes, I did start a new job. I still work for the state of New York as a licensed psychologist, but I even question that, and I find it interesting because it's like, of course, I'm in this culture of working people, right, who, have been working for the state for many years, making really good money, right, within the healthcare profession. But at the same time, it's just like, I just hear like different people, bigging up, like, oh, the pension, I'm like, unless you're talking about millions of dollars, to me, that doesn't make me get perked up. Like, I don't see how people get perked up, like, oh, pension, but then it doesn't really equate to the amount of effort and energy that we are expected to invest in our respective positions. That's just how I see it, right? And one can say, oh, well, why did you get into this field? And, you're supposed to serve. And, of course, I love the work. I love my patients. I love the work that I do. That's unquestionable, right? But I also love me. Like, me comes first above anything else. That should go without saying, right? Anyone who knows me knows, like, listen, Danielle, yeah, she gonna put herself first, okay? Family will tell you that. So, yeah, with that being said, it's just like, it doesn't do it for me. The whole, like, people here talking about pensions. I'm like, okay. And yes, it equates to job security, but I'm just like, knowing that your time is the most invaluable thing that you can give. And it cannot be replaced. And when you calculate, okay, what is your time worth? What is every second? What is every minute? What is every hour? What does it translate to in terms of dollars? And especially what these places are paying. And it's just like, you can make more money. You can make more money, right? I'm talking to you. Like, you can make more money. Think about what you are doing. Most of y'all work a 9 to 5. You know that you can make more money, right? This is not a new message. You have to have followed me to really know and to really grasp, to really know that I've been talking about this shit for years. I've been doing this shit for years. And in order to really grasp what I'm saying and to be able to stand confidently on what I'm saying, like, you have to have experienced it for yourself, especially as an entrepreneur. And once you do, like, once you make, let's say, your first $500 in 1 hour, your first $700,000 and up in a matter of minutes, it's just like, well, damn. And then you look back like, wait, and they've been paying me what? I've been working for what? And I done fuck around and started my own business and I just made $1,000 in a matter of a half hour? Is it really that? I can make fucking $10,000 in one day with and this is not no gimmick. A lot of times people, like, they hear stories of entrepreneurial people making this amount of money in a short span of time, and they automatically think, oh, this must be a scam. No, it's not. That's where I am, right? So yes, my position as a clinical psychologist and working for the state, it definitely is a labor of love. And I think sometimes people, they only get it fucked up. It's like people, like, not all, I can't say that this is like majority of people, majority of my colleagues, but definitely the ones who think they hold positions of power and to just be delegating tasks. Like, to me, that shit is so cringe. Like, yo, that shit is so cringy to me. When a motherfucker just, like, you want to dump tasks and do that, like, I have to be honest, and this is just, this is me. I just know me. I'm not going to be there. I can't be there that long. Because it just does something to my spirit. When this happens, it's just like, you don't dump shit on me. I left the previous place where I was. Because this is the whole dumping and the whole expectation of doing coverage and basically doing the work of 1.5 to 2 psychologists and getting paid for only, like, the math is not math and it doesn't add up. And I'm always thinking business minded. That's just who I am. If it doesn't make sense, it does not make sense. And I've been a businesswoman before I even graduated high school. So you're looking at a woman who is now 40 years old, but I've had this mindset since way back when. When I took a job, as most high schoolers do, working at, like, your McDonald's and your Wendy's. And I worked at McDonald's for, like, how many days did I work there? I worked at McDonald's for like 3-4 days. And when they told me they delegated a task for me to mop the floor, I'm like, wait a minute, wait. In the interview, I consented and agreed to be a cashier. Okay? And now that I have the job, you're asking me to do all this other superfluous shit, mopping floor, and then, it was, what really did it? When I got my first paycheck, and knowing, because at the time I was an entrepreneur then, I was braiding hair, I have many talents. Don't get it mistaken, your girl is a woman of many talents, many skills, and I was braiding hair, pulling in that dough as a freshman, as a sophomore in high school, getting paid upwards $50, $75, $100 per head. Now rewind. I graduated high school in 2002. Right, taking into account the cost of the dollar, what it was back then. We're talking about in the 90s. As a high school student, I was making though. You feel me? So when we think about what minimum wage was, and that's what they was paying, like working these little jobs at McDonald's and shit like that, $5.50 an hour, and I get my check, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Work, 5 hours, $5.50 an hour? $25, $30 a day? Are you kidding me? All right, that's like That's slavery. And even to this day, that woman said, oh, well, be grateful. Fuck that. Okay? I'm a very grateful individual. I know gratitude, but I also know self-worth. And I know what market value is. right? And I know how to leverage myself in the marketplace to increase my earning potential. When you've been there, done that, listen, y'all motherfuckers can't tell me shit. You can't tell me shit, and it's just like, it's just not mathing. It's not adding up. If I can pull in, if I'm at the, back then, I'm pulling in between $50 and $100 in a matter of 45 minutes braiding hair. Now, granted, yes, braiding can be somewhat labor intensive, but it's just like, it was convenient. They come into my place. Sometimes I would go to their residence to braid their hair, but it was nothing. You know, I'm braiding hair in school, okay? As a straight A student, like, I would zoom through that work like it was water. The shit was easy peasy. Nothing. With my free time, I'm braiding hair in the back of the classroom for other students, making money. And then McDonald's want to try me like, oh, sweep the floor. Yeah, I quit that job. When I said I probably worked there maybe 3-4 days, not even that, and quit. Like, y'all got me fucked up. This ain't for me. So, listen, I'm just saying this to say that, listen, if I had that mindset, and we're talking about rewind. I graduated high school again, 2002. Back then I knew this. Imagine what I know now. You can't fuck over your girl, man. You have to be speaking something that make a lot of sense. And when it, like I say, when it comes to this whole 9 to 5, I feel like people get themselves trapped up in the matrix, you know, they get themselves stuck. And yes, I've heard someone say recently, like, it's just like the security of knowing that that check is going to be consistent. But do you know you can create your own sense of security working for yourself? When you show up for yourself, you show up for your customers, you can deliver the same, even better quality of service working for thyself and make more money. It's like, I think what I know what it is just stepping out on faith. And like I said, this is not a new message. For those who know me, know that I am the founder and owner of a literary organization called UBAWA. It's an acronym that stands for Urban Books, Authors, and Writers of America. I founded it back in 2010. I've been preaching the same gospel to independently published authors. You hear me? I have been the spokesperson of this message for many years. We're in 2024, so we're talking about an organization that is 14 years old. And I've been saying this. And I keep telling people, yo, I ain't even from New York. A lot of people that's from New York, and I hate to toot my own horn, but yo, I'm not even from here. And I've already mastered this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like, not to say I've outgrown, I ain't gonna say I outgrown New York. I ain't gonna speak with that level, right, of arrogance. But I can say to the point where I'm not even from here. And I'm doing significantly much better than a lot of people who were born here, who had a head start. I'm not even from here. You hear me? I am a Floridian. This is not my native land. This is not my birth state, my birth city. I was born in Jacksonville, Florida. I've conquered that shit. I moved to Atlanta, lived there for 3 years, conquered that shit. You know, I am a fighter. I'm a dreamer. I'm a go-getter. I've lived in New York. I lived in Los Angeles. Conquered that shit. And I've always had the mindset I feel like there's nothing. If I want to achieve it, I'm gonna make it happen. If I want, my heart desires it, and I want it, it's going to happen. I don't have to bend no rules. I don't have to sacrifice my morals, compromise myself. No. My self-worth or self-dignity. Hell no. I stand firm in what I believe in. If anything, I stand tall on my morals and my values. I know a lot of people, especially women, they sacrifice their dignity, their self-worth. They find themselves, where they say fucking, to excel up the ladder. Fuck that. Not to say I haven't been tried and tested, even out in LA, while I was completing my doctoral studies, had producers trying to run game. But you can't run, like, you can't hustle a hustler. You try to no avail, especially an educated and a very wise woman as myself. Hey, you're not, like, I see right through it. I see right through the bullshit. But I definitely have been tried, by Hollywood producers trying to run game. And I get that that's how a lot of women in LA, they feel that's their only way to make themselves up the ladder, take themselves up the ladder. But fuck that. I'll sit across from men. I'm just like, they can't run them same games on me that you do on other women. I am 10 steps ahead of your motherfucking ass. You can't do it. So then they try to become my friend, like I'm their homegirl, whatever. Nah, I run circles around your motherfucking ass. Try that shit with somebody else. I even shared a story about this producer I met. And funny, it's just like, it was so random. I'm walking down the street, leaving the bank in Hollywood. I used to live in Hollywood, California. Minutes away, just blocks away from Hollywood Boulevard. And I'm leaving the bank, and I'm headed home, and just out of nowhere, I'm like, this gotta be a setup. Motherfucker come walking up real fast, scurrying away towards me. And he's looking at me just like, oh, I see you're a woman that's business-minded, that's focused. I'm like, yeah, I'm steady walking. Like, I'm always like, focused. That's one thing about me. You can't distract my ass. I'm focused, right? And so I give him, a bit of my attention, and he's talking, trying to convince me and trying to sell me this idea. And he's just like, yeah, I'm a producer. I'm like, okay. Talk it. It's like, yo, think about LA. It's just like everybody there is somebody connected to the industry. Even the fucking Uber drivers, I met an Uber driver and it was like, oh, my brother worked on this movie, whatever. I think it was like Wakanda or something like that. I'm like, everybody is somebody. But anyway, so this guy, he's like, yeah, and I have these 2 pilots that I'm, trying to pitch. I'm about to go and pitch. He was telling me that he had a meeting set up later that day, but he wanted me to take a look at his pilots that he was basically trying to pitch and sell to 2 different networks. And I found it interesting how, like, it's just so random. Like, it's the universe or what? He's like, can you take a look? I cannot make this shit up, even if I tried. So I'm like, okay, I'll take a look. But that was his way of trying to get my information, right? And trying to run game. And so, I'm a beautiful woman. I know that. No one has to tell me that. I know that. I know that coming into this world. And so we exchanged information, and then, before we part ways, and this was like in the morning, it was like in the morning that day, because I had class still. Like, I'm at school, I'm like a whole doctoral student, a whole PhD student out here at the time. And so he's like, yeah, what are you doing later? I'm like, well, I do have class. That's my priority. Like I say, I'm focused. I'm really hard to break, right? Because I have my mind made up. And he's like trying to pitch me the idea of this position, this role that he wanted to sell to me as an assistant to his production. Like he wanted me. He wanted to take me on as like, I think it was a stage manager as well, like the high up positions, a person who basically manages the operations of the production. And I'm like, but I'm a full-time graduate student. He was like, yeah, this will require you to kind of forfeit that, like pretty much throw that shit away. And at the time, I think I was a second year. I think I was a second year PhD student. He was just like, yeah, throw that shit to the side. Fuck that, right? You know, my aspirations and the energy I've spent to invest in that goal. And he was just like, I have this. And it requires you, of course, to travel and to really be hands-on. Of course, there's a nice lucrative salary that comes along with it. Decent. At the time, I wasn't making shit because I'm a whole PhD student, right? I'm not fucking making any money at that time. So he was offering me essentially 6 figures to step into the role of a production manager. And I'm like, I found it interesting. I'm like, okay, because, you know, I'm a woman of many talents and many faces, right? Don't get it mistaken. No one can reduce me to just any one particular role or identity, for that matter. And so, you know, me, I'm considering, like, oh, okay. I'm just taking it in here, and then we're walking down Hollywood Boulevard, right? While he's telling me who he is and what he has going on, and that he has these meetings scheduled for later that day while I'm in class. And so his plan was for us to meet up. So I finished my class, he finishes his meeting, we meet up, and he shares with me the outcome of him pitching his pilots, right, for his 2 shows that featured some very prominent A-list actors on 2 different networks, very popular networks, right? And so, you know me, I'm an adventurous person. I'm like, okay, let's meet up, see what you talking about. I finished class. He reached out to me, checked in. You know, oh, I'd like to take you out. Went out, right, to a restaurant. It was nice little date, right? Funny enough, I did capture it because at the time I was vlogging. So I did capture that experience. But here is the catch. So all of this happened. We go out to this nice restaurant. He wines and dines me. He gives me the good news while we're at the restaurant. I'm like, this has to be a fun. Now, you know, you hear stories, right? You hear stories about, you know, how Hollywood execs and producers, you know, they prey on young, beautiful women. And, you know, these women, you know, they're just dying to become somebody in Hollywood, right? So they sacrifice their morals in exchange for money and fame. But I ain't one of them. I know who the fuck I am. So, of course, we did the date. And then here's the kicker. Following the date, though we had a great time, and, of course, he had great news to share on the date that, yes, his shows got picked up by the networks. I was so disappointed because after the date, he's like, oh, so what you about to do? Yeah, I know what's coming. I'm about to go home. What you about to do? Oh, I was just seeing if I could spend... No, you cannot. He wanted to come to my place. Like, are you fucking... And granted, listen, the man, like, granted, and I even took a picture with him. I posted it on my Facebook, right? This was several years ago by now. So he wasn't bad looking. I don't want to say he was like, no fucking Denzel Washington or, when Denzel was in his prime, right? He wasn't that, but it was just like, he was all right. He definitely, of course, he had money. But I'm just like, I can't. And to see the look on his face, it's like he was surprised. He was taken aback. He did not expect me to, they call it rejection, to turn him down. But I'm just like, that's my right. It's well within my right to say no. And if I was to grant him his wish, right, and follow through with his request, because he basically wanted to like spend the night with me. He wanted to come to my place. And of course I had a whole 1-bedroom apartment out in Hollywood. He wanted to come over, and I'm just like, I can't. He was like, but why? I'm like, I don't do this. I don't invite random people to my place. And I'm still the same way. I live out in Upper East Side. I've dated guys, of course. I went on dates to get to know a person, to get to know a guy, potentials. And they, of course, they wanted to come to my place, but no, you're not. No, listen, I have to trust you. I have to know you. You have to respect me. Like, it has to be more than just, potential for you to come to my place. You're not coming up in here. Most people are not worthy. You're just not. Call it what it is, but hell no. And like, to see, y'all just had to see the look on his face. It was just like I guess he had never experienced that. And listen, I know game. I'm a woman, yes, but I think like a man. In and out, always. When I was a young girl, surrounded by male cousins, male energy, masculine energy, I ran their ass. You hear me? I was an alpha female amongst all my male cousins. I ran that shit. I ran their ass. Best believe I'm alpha through and through. Granted, of course I say I like alpha men, but you can't run game on me. It's a no-go. It's a no-go. And I get it, because I felt like he was used to women giving in to his wishes. And for me to say no, he's just like, it was taken aback. But I told him, say, listen, we can keep in touch. Now, of course, we didn't keep in touch. The conversation kind of dwindled away. But I found that to be interesting, though, that encounter. And to think, what if, right? What if I had given in? Of course, my dignity would have been lost, and I would have felt very shitty. So he just wanted to fuck, And it was just like he was doing this quid pro quo kind of thing. Like, okay, if you do this, I'll give you this. But if not, then the offer is off the table. Like, who does that? I guess that's how, listen, I know that's how Hollywood runs, and I've seen it firsthand. That wasn't my only encounter. Living out in LA, shit gets real. And I've encountered a lot of situations like that. A lot of millionaires. I've dated millionaires out in LA, and this is a different world. But I say this to say, know your worth. Know what you stand on, and stand on that shit. You don't have to settle. I'm about to wrap this video up, but I have many stories similar to that one. And I believe like when that happens, and especially as a woman, you just like, nah, your value goes up. But if you give in, you just another slut. You just another bitch. You just another hoe. It's like, nah. And for me, I can't be the one to like boost a man's ego in that way. I feel like men already have toxic fucking egos and masculinity. It's just these toxic ideals. Like, and I'll share this story before I wrap it up. But of course, like, I'm on the dating scene. I'm on the dating scene because I like to experience men and what's out there, to the quality of men, right? But I turned down a lot of men, or I just clearly dismiss a lot of men. And there was this encounter I had today where, and I think it helps, but sometimes it is not in the best interest for a lot of men who I encounter, especially men who already have insecurity issues and feel inadequate. When they come across me, I read motherfuckers up and down. Listen, I do this shit for a living. It just comes natural, right? And it got to the point in our conversation where he was just like, you psychoanalyzing me. This, that. Like, listen, it ain't about psychoanalyzing, right? It ain't about me wearing a particular psychologist hat. It's just about me having fucking common sense and analyzing situations. That's just what smart people do, right? I'm trying to sit up here and pull the psychologist card on me. But I asked him, I was like, what is your intent? Why are you on this dating site? Like, what is it that you want? Oh, I want something serious. I say, well, I'm a bit confused because on your profile it says nothing serious, but you're saying on the other hand that this is what you're looking for. He was like, oh, I just put that because I've come across women that, and he goes down this long list of different things that he's found to be a pet peeve of his, right? And dealing with women that he's come across on dating sites, like, oh, women with kids, and I understand that they have to put their kids first, and then he goes to talk about women who, like, a whole long list, right? He's just like, women who like dress provocatively, right? Whatever they're wearing, but it evokes something in the man, right? But then at the same time, don't want to discuss intimate things, right? Immediately. And I had to stop his ass in his tracks. I'm just like, a woman has a right to wear what the fuck she wants to wear. Doesn't warrant an invitation for sex. It just doesn't. So you feel entitled that she must discuss sexual related things or intimate things just because of what she's wearing in her dating profile picture? And then he tried to retract it. He tried to like fix it and undo it. And then that's when, like, as I'm breaking this down, he's like, oh, like, you're psychoanalyzing me? No. I'm just reflecting to you yourself. I'm putting up a mirror, and if you don't like what you see, that's not my problem, sir. That's your problem. I'm just flipping back to you what you've said here to me. And so now I'm a problem? And so then I find it interesting how he tries to like shut the conversation down. He's like, oh, well, trying to give me an ultimatum, and anyone knows, like, you trying to give me an ultimatum, that's a deal breaker, professionally or personally. You not give me no fucking deal breaker. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? All right, so it's like, well, either we change the subject, or we just call it a quits. Like we just end the conversation and that's just it. I'm like, listen, in fact, I'm not even interested in you. Right? He's thinking he has a shot, has a chance. I'm like, after you said these things, I'm trying to like get an understanding of what his perspective is of women, right? And it's very clear, right? A lot of men obviously have these toxic perspectives of women, and it just doesn't blend well. Like, I'm a woman. I'm a woman through and through, honey. So if you come into me with your negative bullshit and attitudes towards women, it's a wrap. Because I see right through it. I can sniff it a mile away, many miles away. He's saying that he finds these things that he is saying to justify why he has this intent indicated on his profile that he doesn't want anything serious. Right? I'm like, well, why would you put that? Because that's a whole contradiction. Meanwhile, he's saying that women are a walking contradiction who wear provocative things, but meanwhile, they don't want to talk about. I'm like, you're talking about that's a red flag. I'm like, well, in fact, after you shared with me what your red flags are, I think your red flags is a red flag for me. Because I'm a woman. Right? And so how can you take issue with a woman who is setting boundaries for herself? Right? You're not entitled to anything sexual from her just because of how she's dressed. And if that's how you think, then nah, I'm not even interested. And he has some other things that he listed, but yeah, that one stood out. And I'm just like, mm-mm. And then what gets me is like you looking at the person's picture. Now, granted, obviously his picture was, it passed the test enough for me to be able to respond to his initial comment that he sent, his initial message. But, you know, when you start to really see the actual person reveal themselves through conversation, it's just like, nah, it became less attractive. It's just like, mm-mm. And so he wanted to call himself shutting it down because I told him that I'm not interested. I'm just like, you're already out the fucking running. But I guess to make himself feel better. He was like, oh, well, you don't want to change the conversation. Like I see right through all this shit. I'm just like, yo, I find it interesting when the mirror is turned towards you. You want to try to deflect, and now you want to change the conversation. No, for me, of course, I'm a sapiosexual, so I like men who are able to go deep and don't run. They're not quick to run away from themselves, right? It's like when the mirror is turned on you, don't run. Like you initiate this conversation by talking about your pet peeves regarding women, which I found to be bullshit. And now when the camera's turned on you, you want to run. No, I like a man who's able to stand firm in his shit. Don't run. If I intimidate you, my words intimidate you, you damn sure ain't for me. And I wouldn't consider myself to be an offensive person. I'm very direct. So I think that's where the issue lies. But having said that, yes, I encourage people. That's just who I am. That's always what I've done, is to encourage people to stand on who you are. And listen, who knows what the future holds. But I can tell you one thing for sure, that looking at my current situation and looking at knowing who I am, things about to change. It's about to be some major changes happening. Definitely in my life, as it always is. My life is always in flux, which I find just to be a normalcy for me. And yeah, don't settle. Don't settle for who you are. Stand tall and firm on your beliefs. And feel free to share this video. Someone commented, stop talk about Listen, if you can't even speak proper fucking English, you can't arrange your words properly to effectively communicate, do not comment on my videos. I don't give a fuck if you're a male or a fucking female. Whoever the fuck you are. Ashley. What? Ashley who? Willisy. You gotta be a troll, right? This is where I'll be blocking y'all motherfuckers. Straight up. Because let me go ahead and help you out right here. I don't mind doing it. I do that shit a lot though. People be commenting thinking that their opinions matter. Y'all forget. Yo, this is my page and recognize who you're dealing with. Just came in, what's going on? Montel, you tell me what's going on. I feel like a lot of times when you step into my videos, you appear to be so aloof. As if you can't read the title. Or you can't even sit and listen for 60 seconds to get the drift of what's happening here. Some of y'all, I get it. Some of y'all just be thirsting and dying for attention. And you just want to focus on you. Then I put it on you. What's going on? The video is over. Do you see the timestamp on this video? I am done, okay? I'm done. The title don't show up on your end. Yes, it does. How the title do not show up? But anyway, I'm about to wrap this shit up. I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace out.